Now in our 6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, hey, it's the Ramble. See? You see what it says in red? That's me. I'm Alex, and we'll be here until midnight tonight from the East Coast of the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, there he is out in, let's see here, Las Vegas, Nevada. Where the only way you make money in Las Vegas is when you get off the plane, you walk into the propeller. Now, there's an old joke, because who walks into a propeller anymore?
No. That's true.
Yeah.
You know, I went to the Hard Rock Cafe Casino. They had a Jimi Hendrix slot machine. I played it. The little arm was a Stratocaster neck. I pulled it. I got 2 guitars and an ambulance. I lost. Good night, everybody.
We'll be here all week.
Enjoy the candied squid and the varnished olive loaf.
Yeah, right, exactly. So, how you doing? You sent me a note saying I don't know if I can do. I might be able to do the show today.
I can do it. I don't know how sharp I can be. So I just had a tooth yank. Yes, last night there was.
Which tooth did Which tooth did they pull?
The last. That was the next. It was the last one on the bottom, on my left side, right here. You can see a little Godfather cheek over here. It's a little swollen.
Yeah.
You know, all your time, and it's been killing me forever. And the one dentist didn't want to pull it because my blood pressure was too high. So I went to another dentist, and they said your blood pressure's high, but not that high. Whoops! Oh goddamn! What the hell happened here?
Now he lost his. Now we lost.
Well, here we go.
There you go. Just rest it against something or another.
What the fuck is going on there?
Please stand by. Do you remember when they used to do that on TV? They don't do it anymore. Please stand by. The please stand by sign came up a lot in the old days of television. Yeah. We're having technical difficulties. These are things we don't have anymore in our society. The signs,
and you don't hear
You know what you don't see anymore on TV?
Test patterns.
Well, test patterns are a thing of the past. Although there are test patterns that are used internally, but they're not the pattern. Remember the pattern with the Indian in the middle of it?
Sure.
They don't use that anymore.
No more.
That was only for like 480 lines on the screen, or 510. I can't remember what it was. And those little lines that came out from the Indian, those were to test the resolution. If you could see all the lines at that point, you knew what the resolution was.
See? They put another Indian out of work. Thanks, Joe. It's your fault.
Oh, let me turn on my light, too, back there. See?
Turn on the light.
Anyway, so where was I? So they had the test pattern, and then they went to color bars. That's the new test pattern.
Those are pretty.
Yeah,
I used to adjust the tint and color on the TV to make them change. And when I was 9 years old, we had a brand new color TV. That entertained me to no end.
Yeah, you wanted to make everybody purple.
Yeah, let's make it first the green, now the purple. I'm having fun.
But anyway, I mean, those are things that don't exist anymore. Test patterns don't exist with the Indian in the middle. You don't hear a station go, "Please stand by, we're having technical difficulties."
Yeah.
They just go off and you wonder why. Okay. Exactly. They don't even have the courtesy of telling you they're having technical difficulties.
They don't care about us.
And the thing that here's one that you remember, I'm sure, but doesn't exist any longer. You ready?
Yep.
This is a WPIX in New York, signing off for tonight.
No more.
And then da 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 da, and then airplanes flying everywhere, and then they went.
Well, first of all, you had, ooh.
That happened like anywhere between 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning, depending on the station, right?
Yep.
They went off the air.
Yep, all night.
And the next morning, 6 o'clock.
We now resume our scheduled programming with The Modern Farmer.
Yeah.
An hour and a half of Clutch Cargo cartoon.
Yeah, we have a great welcome to another broadcast day of WPIX.
It's time for sunrise.
And once again, you had to hear the damn Star Spangled Banner. I don't know what the Star Spangled Banner had to do with signing on and off.
It begins and ends everything. Everything starts with the Star Spangled Banner. Don't ever forget that.
You know, but anyway, but these are things we don't. These are things we don't see anymore, or hear anymore of. You know, so.
Yep, they come, they go. They're extinct like dinosaurs.
Well, I feel, I am a dinosaur. I really am a dinosaur. There's no question about it. Perhaps I'd like to be a pterodactyl, but I can't fly. So,
they're my favorite dinosaurs. Pterodactyls.
Basically, I'm a dinosaur. I'm one of. Maybe a triceratops. With triceratops, try something. Try anything. I'll try it twice. Anyway, I'm loopy today because I took my nice pill last night and I haven't had any coffee.
Oh,
you have coffee there, right?
Let's see what we got here. Hold on. Oh, what do I have here? Good coffee. Maxwell House.
What does it say on your cup? Keep calm and what?
It's my wife's cup. It says keep calm and sparkle on.
Then sparkle on, yeah.
But it doesn't matter who drinks soda because I'm a He-Man and I'm drinking my coffee.
That came from World War II, if I'm not mistaken, which was
WWII. I didn't know that.
It wasn't England. It was. What does it say on there again? Stay calm.
Keep calm and sparkle on. There.
Keep calm and carry on.
Carry on. There you go.
Yeah, was the motto during World War II in England. They had it together. They had it together. So So tell me technically, how you doing with your computers? It's still down and out?
Oh, my friend almost got us on. He got it kind of into that zip code, but didn't quite make it. He put something in the screen, and all these little letters and numbers appeared, and we almost had it, but we didn't quite get there. So we're still praying. So that's why
I wish I were there. I could probably get you up and running in about an hour.
Well, you could probably get me up and running in about a minute if you were here. I don't know how to do it, though.
All you got to do is, for instance, let's say the hard drive is good, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It just fucked up or something. I think it's probably your hard drive that's gone, and you need a new hard drive.
It just needs a password for some reason.
Forget about the password. Just reinstall the operating system onto that computer. And you can do that online. You know, just reinstall it, and what will happen is they'll say, "What do you want as a password?" And you put in what you want as a password. You've lost everything else.
I don't have anything to save.
Okay, then just do what they call a fresh install, full install of the operating system, and it's like it's a new computer. And then you just take it from there. But while you're trying to What are you doing? What is he doing? What are you doing?
Hello.
What are you doing?
Hello.
No.
Here we go.
I'm getting dizzy.
We lost you again.
What do you do? What were you doing? What were you doing? You were losing me?
Well, you there?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm here. Can you see me?
Second.
Boy, you know, at least you're technically proficient enough to use your iPhone to get to me. Okay,
that's a miracle in itself.
That's a miracle.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, but when it comes to Bubs, forget it. I can't even get him to use a phone.
No.
So I have to put up a picture of Bubs and to do the audio.
Like a voice of Larry Bubbles Brown, like some astronaut you're talking to on the moon or something.
I think he doesn't want to do Zoom because he doesn't want anybody to see what he looks like these days.
Yeah. We all know what he looks like.
I imagine he looks okay. You know.
He ain't hurt nobody. He looks like a white guy without a chin. What do you want?
Yeah, white guy without a chin.
Looks like E.T., yeah.
Yeah.
Bubbles, phone home, phone the punchline, Bubbles.
He does kind of look like an alien, doesn't he? Yeah.
He's from another planet.
Yeah. But anyway, so what's your life like lately? And I always ask this because I have nothing else to ask. What's your life like?
I'm broker than Tina Turner's nose on her wedding night to Ike, but I got work coming up. And I got a tooth pulled yesterday, right there. And here I am today.
How did you wind up affording having the tooth pulled?
Well, one dentist would take the insurance, but he wouldn't pull it because he said my blood pressure was too high. A friend of mine recommended another dentist who wouldn't take my blood pressure, but she did anyway, but it wasn't too high, so she pulled it.
I've had teeth pulled. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I've had teeth pulled, and I've never once had them take my blood pressure.
Do it now. I don't know why, but they do it, and mine's kind of high. So the first guy and the insurance took it, said, "No, I can't do that. You might die." I want to die if you keep the friggin' tooth in here. Take the tooth out. I'll walk out of here. I'll die outside.
Were you having were you having a major toothache there?
Oh, it's killing. It's like zzz, a little light zzz, goes through the temple, and the other guy forks off and goes to the eyeball. Zzz, well, and they gave me amoxicillin.
Yeah.
To take the pain away, and it worked. But then I ran out, and they gave me more, and I said, I got to get this tooth pulled. Finally, yesterday at 5 PM, they did the job.
Well, the amoxicillin. Wait a minute. The amoxicillin was an antibiotic.
Yeah, it's an antibiotic, but it took the pain away, so I know what it did. But I'm still taking it because it was infected.
So they pulled it.
They pulled it.
Yeah, I had them pull a tooth. I had them pull a tooth up here. All right, and I went to the dentist. And they said you got to pull the tooth. So I went to this place to have it pulled. There's a pull your tooth place, okay. And they pulled it, and it was fine. It was a very easy pull. It was a tooth that had gotten completely loose because it was just bad root canal things.
Yeah,
like that. Anyway, so it healed up, and then I went, well, I got a new dentist, and I said, I'm coming to you. And they said, why? I said, I want to get a implant for this tooth. Okay. So I went, and they said, well, okay, but first let's take some x-rays. 2.5 years later, they started work on the implant. Because we have to take care of this, and then we got to take care of that, and you got to take care of this, and you got to take care of that, and before you know it, I'm still got this hole in my mouth, and I'm feeling like a Trump voter. You know, I could storm the Capitol, and they go, "Oh, welcome, old. You have one tooth missing. That's fine."
King of the hillbillies.
Well, I'm not king of the hillbillies. King of the hillbillies misses this tooth. Okay, yeah. And doesn't do anything about it. I mean, if I got a tooth here pulled, I would immediately get an implant or something to fill it in for the time being, so I don't look like a
Put a radish in there and leave it. If it falls out, I'll put some celery in there.
I mean, I don't understand why people lose a tooth in the front and then they don't do anything about it.
I know. They think I don't know who's going to notice. There's only one tooth.
That's the one tooth I think that has to be done. I think we should have national insurance for people's mouths, because let's say you lose your front tooth. Now you go to apply for a job. What chances do you think you have of getting that job with a front tooth missing?
Well, if it's in Long Island City, you'll get it. But other from there, forget it.
Well, I mean, if it's like in Arkansas, maybe. Yeah. I'd
like to be the president of our bank. We only deal with wood chips and toothpicks.
Yes, you want to come join us as a teller for our bank? Oh, yeah. And you're missing a front tooth. Well, we'll get back to you.
Yeah, sure, we'll get back to you.
Because if people come in and they want to do business with you, all they're going to do is keep looking at the goddamn tooth, right?
It's like having a paint on your shirt, yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't make sense at all.
I'll start out as a teller with all the way down to a customer.
But anyway, so you had the tooth pulled, and
they had to put all the Novocaine in the world in me because it was a hot. She said it was a hot tooth. It was infected, so it was killing me.
Because it was infected. But normally, do you know it takes less Novocaine to pull a tooth than it does to fill it?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't get to that part of the home dental learning.
Now that you've done the process, I'll tell you. You know how they pull a tooth? They don't pull a tooth. Do you ever take a nail out of a board? It's basically the same process. What they do is they get underneath it and then they go here.
Crack, crackle,
no,
crack.
No, it doesn't crack. It just comes right out. It's like pulling a nail out of a piece of wood.
Oh, this one they had to cut in half vertically to get it out.
Oh,
they
really?
got one half out of They got the other half out, and I'm like, oh, it hurts.
So what
But
are you
then
going to
they
do?
did it.
You're not going to get an implant. You can't afford that, right?
No, it's in the back. Fuck it. Nobody can see it.
Yeah,
Please,
the
looks
only
like a
reason
Hollywood style.
mine was in the back too, but food kept getting stuck in there, and it was annoying. It was annoying.
Just like wax my gums.
So now I have this big fake tooth in there, and it's annoying. So yeah. Hey, listen, we've run out of time here.
Oh, what do you think of that, Muddy? Oh my God.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, one less toothless Stephen Pearl. Thank you, Stephen.
To brush now, one less to see. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Pearl. Bye.
Now in our 6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Stephen. Good to see you tonight, and we'll see you next week at some point. Yeah. Let me turn up my mic a little bit so that you can hear me more than you normally hear me. There we go. Got everything going here. I do everything. I'm chief cook and bottle washer around this here joint. Oh, hey, listen, I got something to show you tonight. This is kind of nice. I set up a camera on the other computer in the other room, and then I stuck my webcam out the window, and this is what is happening live here in New York right now on my corner of 14th. It's 116th and 7th Avenue, or Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard, which I don't ever call it. I call it 7th Avenue. But we had some snow. It's kind of dissipated now. It's going to be very warm tomorrow. So, but I'm also playing that for all you people who watch us, who are watching us from Texas, to let you know how very nice it is here compared to what you got out there. Okay? All righty. Let me see here. How do we have any people ready to go here? Oh, we do. Okay. All righty. I just wanted to check and make sure. And I will start admitting them all. Oh, look who we got here. We even have somebody who has been in the storm. Let's get away from there, okay? And let's go here, okay? And there we go. We got Charlie Wallace. Good for you, Charlie. You're gonna have to tell us about your adventures in a second here, okay? All right.
Okay.
And we got Trucker Steve. Trucker Steve looks like he's at home right now, okay? And there's Alan. Sitting in his room. Which room are you in there? Is that your office? That's your office. Okay.
Sorry, I had some food in my mouth. Yes, it's my office.
I'm opening up my Pellegrino. Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I got mine here. It comes out of the tap. Water.
Yummy, yummy, yummy. I got loving my tummy or whatever. Anyway, how you all doing tonight? Let's find out what happened to Charlie.
My first cup of coffee since Sunday.
Really?
Oh.
Okay. Now, when did you get your electricity back on?
I got this afternoon.
Uh-huh.
It was only 40 degrees in my apartment.
Oh.
Oh,
I couldn't come out for about 4 hours.
Well, your senator should have just taken you with him.
I don't. Ted
on
Cruz is an
vacation.
asshole.
What?
Ted Cruz is an asshole.
Of course, Ted Cruz is an asshole. Did you expect anything less out of him?
Nope.
Okay.
He's fucking tone deaf.
He just is. I mean, what he did was just terrible. I mean, it's just not. It doesn't send a good message out to your populace that this is what they should do in times like that. You know, don't you wish you could have gone to Cancun? Don't you wish you could have gone to Cancun?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
4 days in the dark.
4 days in the dark. Really that bad?
Yeah, I had to cover up the windows, because it got down to 9 degrees.
Now
and no heat.
I understand it happening where you are, because that's not a civilized part of the world. But
no contingency plan.
Yeah.
How's your food
But
in your fridge? Everything okay?
I don't know. Some of it might have. I think the stuff in the refrigerator is okay because, I mean, I opened up the door to the refrigerator. It was colder in my apartment than it was in the refrigerator normally. You know?
You're right.
Wow.
You're right. Now,
but the freezer, some of the stuff did thaw out.
Correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong on this, but it doesn't snow much in Texas. I think in the whole time I lived
we can go 5 years without it snowing.
I don't remember in the whole time I lived there it ever snowing.
Yep.
You know, you guys are just not ready for snow. You don't have.
So we don't have any trucks, snow plows to plow the road. We don't have any salt to put on the roads.
We had a little snowfall here. You know. A couple of days ago, and then again today. And even before the first flake drops, the goddamn snowplows are out on the street. Yep. You can hear them scraping along the street. You know, they wake me up in the middle of the night. But you guys, you don't even have the snowplows. You don't have chains on your cars.
Nope.
You're not ready for. You don't even have the kind of winter wear you should have.
No, I don't have any galoshes. I had like 8 inches of snow. I couldn't get to my car.
God.
The only way I had to charge my phone was to run my car.
Yeah, we had 8 inches here, and it was cleaned up really fast. You know, and I showed people earlier outside my window, which I can show again here, if you want to look at it. There's you people can't see it, but there's the corner of 116th and 7th Avenue. There's the bodega down the street, which is now closed. That's where that flashing light is, and there's a restaurant and. It's,
yeah, that looks great. None of us can see it though.
But there's
well, I saw it before. You know, before you.
There's the snow. That's what passes for snow here. So you know what the hell. But
so anyway. I think snow was in Texas, and this huge storm was God's way of punishing Texas for voting for Trump.
It could be. It could
obviously.
Be. It could be. But I'm glad we were all worried about you. Everybody was going, "How's Charlie?" Somebody wrote me, and I swear to you, this is true. Somebody I normally think of as being fairly smart. Nobody you guys know, just one of the people who writes me for doing the show, and wrote me and said, "How's Charlie? I suppose he doesn't have any electricity. Why don't you send him an email and find out?"
That would have helped a lot.
And I was thinking to myself, wait a minute, don't you think that maybe if he has a no power, he also doesn't have the ability to get his email? Now I guess your iPhone maybe still worked, didn't it?
It worked for about a day until it ran out of power.
Until it ran out of power, exactly. You know what you should do is get one of those little batteries, you know, those rechargeable things that you can put on there so you can at least get a couple of days the next time in 20 years. In 20 years when it snows like this again in Texas. You know.
5-6 years from now, yeah.
And I hear Jack Bishop on his program bragging about, well, we have solar power, so, you know, we still have power here. And I'm going, yeah.
You know, the batteries, if you buy a couple, they're not expensive. Charlie, whoever. And I got them all over the place, but I keep them in the car. You break down in the car, say the battery dies in the car, and you need your cell phone, and you got to walk to the wherever.
Yeah.
Although everything's close in Texas and California, but you never know. Yeah. And so it's nice to have an extra battery.
Yeah, it is nice to have an extra battery. I don't know. I have. Do I have any chargers here? Yeah, I have a thing over here I could use. Yeah, well, give me a full phone charge. And the battery's been in this thing for like the last 2 years, and I've never pulled it out to use it to charge up my phone.
Now,
so I don't even know.
Tried to get
what?
Put a battery in my phone. I couldn't get the phone open to put the battery in.
Oh, really?
That was an older model of the iPhone.
This is an accessory. It's it looks like this.
Well,
it's like a jump.
You know, and you charge it on one end, and then on the side you plug into your charging cable.
Okay, then that's different.
This is one of those batteries.
Yeah.
That's
what I need. I need a bunch of those.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. If you and I'm serious, if you want to send me your address or whatever, I will send them to you, no charge, free Christmas gift from Amazon.
But he's probably not going to need them for another 20 years.
I know, like I said.
Well, he's got time to learn how to use them.
This is what I have, and it plugs in, and it's been in there for like 3 years. I don't even know if it could charge anything, but it's got USB ports here, and it's got a charging port here, so that I can just plug this into the phone, and it will charge the whole phone up. But let me go put this back in its resting place.
Another thing I found is you have those flashlights that you plug into the outlet to charge. Mm-hmm. If you don't have any power, they run out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you can't put a new battery in it.
You just plug the cable from your smartphone into your smartphone, and then into this thing. Yeah. And it charges. This battery.
I'm sure they have them at Amazon. I'll just order from Amazon and get it tomorrow.
Oh, they have hundreds of them at Amazon. Yeah. And they're like $10, $12 a piece. And the 10,000.
Yeah, but you see, you're giving him advice on something he'll probably never need in his lifetime.
That's why I don't have galoshes.
You know, that's the reason they had trouble in Texas. They just weren't ready for it. You know. No. It's not something you know. I mean, yeah, here I've got my boots and I've got my warm jacket and I've got all that stuff, you know.
You're wearing it all right now.
Yeah.
Important thing you need, love.
Brian?
The one that I have is about this big, a little bit bigger, and I can actually jumpstart my car with that. So I keep one in my customs. So
how cold did it get, Charlie?
9 degrees. Monday morning and Tuesday morning. 9 degrees.
There you go. There's your jump starter.
Yeah.
I don't have it out of the box. I just got it as a gift.
Oh. Yeah, we haven't been above freezing
since a week ago. Or you can jump start the car.
You can jump start.
I don't know if it actually works.
Wait a minute. You can jump. Small. You can jump start a car with that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that's a little bit bigger than the one he showed. I have a couple of those, and I have one in each car, especially my customs.
Do they work?
And I've used it. Yep, I used it on my Lexus when I had my Lexus before. It works.
And okay, that's good to know because I just bought one for somebody.
Cell phone like 10 times over.
Welcome.
Yeah, I just bought one. They're like less than $100.
Welcome, folks, to Tech Talk. Yeah, you know, it's pretty good.
TikTok.
Yes, Jeff.
So I've been having problems with.
Yeah.
I'm on, right?
Yeah.
You're on. Yeah.
Okay. I'm been having problems with my Apple computer. So, because I got it wet myself.
You got it wet? What'd you do? Pee on it or something? Or
no, I was cooking and whatever.
Wait a minute. You were cooking?
Yeah, and I had the computer.
Wait a minute. This may be better than you not being able to get our audio off of going on the air.
You know, this was on my Apple computer, which normally works fine.
What does that have to do with cooking?
All right. Well, the water
microwave leaked.
Went inside the computer, which doesn't like water.
Yeah, it doesn't like water. Yeah.
But you know what? For the first 3 hours or so, it was working fine. I figured, man, you know, I kind of try to dry it and whatever. But anyway, after the 3 hours, it stopped. So, being smart, I brought it to the Apple store. Mm-hmm. And the Apple guy goes, "Oh, no problem. You know what? It's Monday. I'll tell you what. You'll probably have it done by maybe Saturday or Sunday. Mm-hmm. Maybe Monday, the worst, and we'll mail it to you." Okay. I get there, and Sunday, no answer. I finally talked to him, and I'm realizing talking to somebody in another country or whatever.
Yeah, of course, you're not talking.
And the guy says, "Well, okay." He says, "Well, your thing's not done, and but it'll probably be another week and a half." Okay. And I said, "Well, you said it was going to be done in, what it was, 6 days or something?" Yeah. And he goes, "Well, no." And I said, "By the way, where is it? Where is my computer?" "It's in Texas."
Oh, yeah, my whole machine here went to Texas.
Guess what a great place to get stuff fixed today with electric problems.
All dead apples go to Texas.
Well, great time.
There's no electricity to fix them.
You're right. You're right.
I know, I'm totally screwed.
Oh, God. You know what you probably should have done? Usually if your computer gets wet or your iPhone gets wet, you know what they tell you to do?
Get an air dryer.
No, put it in rice.
Put it in rice.
Yeah.
Well, where would you put the rice? Inside?
You take dry rice and you just simply drop it into dry rice. Now you're saying, why put it into dry rice? Well, because afterwards you have a nice snack. No.
Well, now my computer weighs about
that
60 pounds and is pretty big, and that would be a lot of dry rice.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the best thing about sending this thing to, I've told the story before, about sending this apple to their, whatever goes on in Houston store, or Houston place, is they fixed it, right? And they sent it back, and it still wasn't working. Initially, I paid $400 to have them put in, I think, a new graphics board. And that didn't fix it. So they said, well, we have a rule here at Apple that if we don't fix it on that first try, it only costs you whatever you paid for the first try. So they send it down to Texas, and they work on it, and blah, 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 and it gets back to me, and I plug it in, and it's still doing the same goddamn thing it was doing before. So I take it back to the Apple store, the Genius Bar. Still looking for a genius there. Haven't found one yet, but, And I say it isn't working. They go, well, we'll have to send it back to Texas. The first time they sent it to Texas, they replaced about half the parts in the machine. The second time they sent it to Texas, they replaced almost every single part in the machine. The only thing that wasn't replaced, I think, was like the main board where a lot of the plugs are. And that was it. Everything else, brand new. 100% brand new. I was like, I got a new computer, and I bought this thing on eBay for $3,000. And it was like a $9,000 machine. So now I got it fixed for $400, and I got almost a brand new machine, $900 machine, zilcho, or for $400. So
for you tech person, the big thing that everything plugs into in the computer business, it's called the motherboard.
No, and it's actually it's called the logic board.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. It used to be called the motherboard.
Oh,
back in your day, old
go.
man. Back in your old day, old man, it was called the logic.
The old day.
It wasn't the logic board exactly. It was part of the logic board that wasn't replaced. But they replaced everything: graphics boards, sound boards, everything. And
this is in your iPhone?
No, my Mac Pro.
Oh, okay.
My big the garbage can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Trash can, they called it. So.
Hey, Jeff, next time you're cooking, take word from me, close the microwave door when you got water boiling. Otherwise, it could spill on the computer.
Mm-hmm. Anybody here had terrible accidents in the kitchen?
I spilled hot water on my laptop.
We've never been cooking naked.
Well, you know my story then.
No,
I'm a big fan, Alex. I told you I know all your stories. But go ahead. No, Alex, we haven't ever heard in the kitchen.
Well, what I was doing is I was making my famous Alex Bennett ribs in the oven, right?
Famous ribs.
And I was in the bedroom, kind of naked, because I was doing something that I probably don't want to describe here, but it had something to do with it. Anyway, and all of a sudden I said, I better go check on the ribs. So I go into the kitchen, and let's say I'm not tumescent. I'm the opposite of tumescent. I still have a...
Not flaccid.
Boner, okay? And I open up the oven, and I pull out the grill, and it touches the edge of my penis. That took 3 months to go away.
Ow.
3 months to go away.
Ow.
You got to stop touching it or it's not going to heal.
Oh, yeah, right, exactly. Well, the worst part is some nights I would sleep, and I would sleep on my stomach, and then it would adhere to the bed sheet. Am I being a little too... how many people did we just lose on that story? And it would, I would turn over in my sleep and go, oh my God, and I'm bleeding, and it was terrible. This kind of went on for 3 months. But the first thing I did, here's the stupid thing. I didn't know what to put on it, so I figured butter. That's the worst thing you can do with a burn because you baste it. Okay? I basted my penis. Ice. You should put ice on it. If you put ice on it immediately, you may stop it from blistering if you get a burn. So, but I learned, now I can talk in hindsight, you know. But hey, you know, I had a little scar on my penis, which was very nice.
Do you have a piece of ice in your underwear now?
What?
You always have a piece of ice in your underwear
I always keep a piece of ice around near the stove whenever I never do it naked anymore. I've learned my lesson.
Hey, Alex.
Yes.
Alex, what's your thoughts on Andrew Cuomo's scandal?
It's got to do with cooking.
Let the show take it where it goes.
Well, my wife, who is very political in nature and just absolutely is involved in all the things political, was watching Cuomo the other day and had a very good comment about this whole thing. She said, "I bet he's got a big penis." So that was her comment on this thing. And then my big comment was, I agreed he probably does. Okay, all right. She was looking at his hands because he always holds his hands up. Yeah. But anyway, what do I think about Cuomo? Well, you know, he was handling this in a very, and I don't want to excuse his behavior, and he doesn't excuse his behavior. In fact, he owns up to it, you know. But it was a very confusing time. What do we do? How do we handle this? What's the best way to do this? And he made some mistakes. He made some mistakes where the handling of people in nursing homes was concerned, but he was going by what was CDC recommendations at the time, and they didn't know what they were talking about either. And the CDC recommendation is that, yes, if somebody is in a nursing home and they come down with COVID, you send them to the hospital. When they no longer have the COVID, you send them back to the nursing home. If the nursing home doesn't want to take them, you then find a place to put them, okay? So that was the general wisdom at the time. And I don't know that he was, the charge is that he underreported the number of people who had died as a result of COVID or had COVID or whatever. And he said he did it because he didn't want the Trump people to kind of take advantage of it being too high, all right? And so it was a time when you didn't really want to have to do anything to get those people out down in Washington on your case, especially because they were ready to snipe at him in any way they possibly could, because he was very critical of them. So I don't know, you know, I think he was between a rock and a hard place. I don't think this looks too good for him. Maybe he will slide through after a while. But, you know, he's got the FBI investigating him, and there's this guy who's a state congressman or something, works in the state house, named Kim, who has been after him. He has a lot of political enemies who are just all piling on right now. Oh, let's have a recall. Let's do this. Let's do that. You know, yes, he did wrong, I think. You know, he was not as transparent as he should have been. Will it cause him a permanent problem? I don't know. What do you people think? You people aware of the situation?
I think he's toast.
You think he's toast, really?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
But what did he do that was wrong?
Yeah.
You know, it's one thing, like a typical politician. Mm-hmm. They don't tell you anything.
Yeah.
Except he made the mistake of telling everybody everything. Except he did make one mistake. He started changing what he knew, what he didn't know. And he changed them a little bit. he changed the story a little
Okay,
bit.
but if you're lying about, say, how many people, was it about how many people died or just how many people had it in the nursing homes?
I don't know exactly, but I mean, people died.
Yeah, but
and
yeah.
all he had to do was say, "Holy mackerel!" I didn't realize that the number of people who've been dying were really from the old people's home, and we have to readjust our adjustments on numbers.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
Trump would have never figured it out. Anyway.
Well, the point he was making was it doesn't matter if he misreported one person or 10,000 people; those people were dead anyway. They were dead, okay, and that's a loss. That's a complete loss. I think what people are bothered by is everybody was sitting around wanting to get him because he was the authority on how to be transparent, how to tell everybody what was going on, I think he set himself up for the fall in that because there were a lot of people just out to get him. And I happen to, I like him, but I've been disliking him lately because I think he's handling the situation wrong right now. I think he's getting a little too loosey-goosey. And the numbers here are going down, but they're going down all over the country. All of a sudden, we've had a precipitous drop. I think we're down by 2/3 in the country on new cases. So that's a good sign, And I don't think it has nothing to do with the vaccine because it hasn't been given out to enough people to be able to affect a real change. But I don't know how to feel about him. I feel that the guy saved my life, by going on the air and telling people to wear a mask and running campaigns on television to wear a mask and to wash your hands and to keep social distancing. And let's bring the curve down. And every day getting on the air, giving the lecture, giving the pep talk. He was terrific at that. And in that respect, I think he saved my life. And probably yours too, Jeff.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And so I can't be... I'm not that critical of him. I am critical of his current actions. I think that they're just opening it up to too many people when they don't even have the vaccine. And rather than say now they go and comorbidities and then they went with the whole thing with teachers. Why weren't teachers the first to be covered along with hospital people? I mean, why did we suddenly say, oh, now teachers can get it too? What? And then you're saying we aren't opening up the schools fast enough? Are you out of your goddamn minds? So, I mean, that bothered me, So.
And all of my friends or my kids are working, okay? And they're working at home.
Yeah.
Because they got no place to go.
Right.
And their kids are there, too. Except for one day a week or some craziness.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a very unusual world.
It is. So I'm kind of, does that answer your question, Steve, at all? He's done such a good job all along, but he did something wrong. And I think it was at the beginning when, hey, they just didn't know how to report this stuff. They didn't know why they wanted to report this stuff, and he claims he reported it. The CDC or somebody, the federal government wanted numbers, and he gave them the numbers. The state, he held off on giving them the numbers and told them he was putting them on pause for those numbers because he wanted to first get them out to the government. So he did report them. It wasn't that he didn't report the actual numbers, but it's just. It's kind of sad. Yes, Alan.
Can we get back to cooking accidents? I have a story.
Okay.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Well, I learned that when you take a frozen pizza out of the box and you put it in the oven for 45 minutes, when you pull it out of the oven, to have shoes on because you're a lot better tossing a hot pizza with your hands than your bare feet.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. It left burns on my feet, and
Really?
cheese. Of course, it had to fall out of the oven, cheese down on the feet.
Oh, great!
Yeah.
That was terrific.
God, that was not fun.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's what you get for buying frozen pizza anyway, I think.
Or cooking in the nude, as somebody talked about.
You know, I'm one of those rare people. I'm not that crazy about pizza. You know,
I'm not crazy about burning my penis. So now we have something.
My wife loves pizza, and she orders some pizza a lot. And I just don't have it because, number one, I don't like it because I try to diet most of the time. And I try to go low carb, and you have one slice of pizza, it's mostly crust, you know, and so I've just never liked pizza because it's just got all that crust on it, you know.
You got to go to the right place.
Well,
I mean,
the
New
point
York
is,
doesn't know how to make pizza. You got to go to Chicago.
Chicago knows how to do they know how to do deep dish.
They just had Stanley Tucci's first episode of exploring Italy or something like that with all the food.
Yeah.
And they were in Naples where pizza was, invented. So they did the whole history of pizza there, and oh my God. I gotta lose like 20 pounds before I go back there.
Well, pizza, okay. Pizza in Italy isn't like it is in America. This is American pizza we have here. This round doughy thing with some with sausage and pepperoni in New York and pineapple and strawberries in California. By the way, just for you people out in California, there is no such thing as a vegetarian pizza. Okay? There's no such thing as a vegetarian pizza.
Different states have different pizzas.
No, they don't. There's only one kind of pizza. One that has lots of meat on it, lots of sauce on it, lots of mushrooms and pepperonis and sausage. Right, Tony?
Salt.
You know, my grandmother's from Naples, and you know what? My father used to do it, and she used to make her own pizza, which I still have the pizza thing, the pan downstairs.
Yeah.
And actually, you're right, Alex. The pizza she used to make was thinner.
Oh yes, they used to make thin crust. Really.
When I used to go over there to make a pizza, we used to go over there.
Yeah.
It was never like that, like heavy. It was always kind of like it was. It wasn't super thin, but it wasn't as heavy as that, where one slice it would bloat you up.
Mm-hmm.
And she always did put stuff on it, like. Well, she would ask you what you want on it, but she made a thin pizza though.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one they showed Stanley Tucci from there, the guy put it in there for 45 seconds and it came out as so thin.
What do you have, the brick oven?
Yeah, one of those small.
Well, when I was a kid growing up, I grew up in North Beach in San Francisco, which is an Italian neighborhood, or was an Italian neighborhood. Now it's a Chinese neighborhood, but it was an Italian neighborhood.
No, it's still Italian.
So Italian that you would go to my best friend's house, and his living room smelled like wine because in the basement they had their own wine vat that they made wine in. But anyway, we used to get pizza there, and the pizza was thin. When you picked it up, you had to double it over. Yep. Otherwise, it would just flop down the other way, right? And then all of a sudden, along comes, like, I think it was Pinky's Pizza or something like that, and all these other things. And they were thick pizzas. And you're going, that's not pizza. And I mean, yes, I agree. You can get some very good pizza. I'm just not crazy about pizza. I will scoop off the stuff on the top, eat that, and leave the crust. Because I'm just not a big crust fan on that. But
Hopefully, you scoop it off with your hand and not your penis.
Hopefully.
Pretty hot, let me tell you.
I should probably put out a cookbook called "Cooking with Your Penis."
Yes, maybe you should.
Yeah, no, it was a.
How to flip pancakes with an erect penis?
Well, yes, I didn't think about flipping it. Next time, use a paddle.
That's right.
But anyway, so I mean, getting back to what was going on, what do you think about the Cuomo thing, Tony? Tony,
me and my brother we were talking about that on the way to the supermarket, and I don't know how much to believe. Like, did he threaten somebody's job? They were saying that's kind of leaking out. And you know,
well, no, that was this guy Kim who started going after him, saying he was going to go for a recall of him and so on. And so he called up Kim, and you know, you don't want to get on his bad side, okay? Because he's Italian, he's from Queens.
I mean, you see how the brother is Chris Cuomo. It seems like you get these guineas. I'm telling you, Alex. I see them in my family.
What do you mean? You're a guinea?
What? And they don't let nothing. See, I'm not like that. My mother really never grew us up like that. Like certain parts of my family, like I don't really bother with them because they're just stupid. Like they're still fighting over things for 20 years.
You know, you don't. I don't think I'd want to get on the bad side of Cuomo and have to talk.
Yeah, you're
to
right.
him.
I think he has that bad attitude.
Oh yeah, he's gonna go. You try getting elected again. Yeah, you know, I mean that kind of thing. You know.
But you know, here's what bothers me though. It's like he knew the numbers were wrong, and you're talking about people. Lives like they died. Now you know you had family.
Yeah. I agree with that. I agree with that, Tony. But let's agree with something here. They were dead already.
They were, but
yeah. So coming up with a number isn't going to bring them back to life.
But I think it's disrespectful to the people who passed.
It's not like he went to these old people at the old people's homes with rat poison and poisoned them.
I think he made. I don't think. How about this? I told this to my brother because he said, "What do you think?" I said, "You know what I think? We don't know the whole story, but I think I could be wrong, Alex. When this happened, were there certain guidelines? Like maybe they didn't know where to put these people. Like should they put them on the boat? Were there family members who could take them? Maybe there was just circumstances where he felt the only place they can go was back in the home. Did they not know enough about
this virus? This was a suggestion of the CDC.
Okay, so then
he was working on CDC recommendations, but he said that if a nursing home said, no, we don't want them in here because they've had COVID, and a lot of these people, by the way, still tested positive for COVID because while they were past having it, they still had, they still tested positive for a little time after that. Am I right, Brian? You still can test positive after you've had it for a time, right?
I don't think you're contagious, though, right, Brian? After a certain.
Come on, mister. I've got my little gadget here. Come on. I keep this around here.
That's a penis bandage, right?
That's right.
From when you burn your penis.
No, it's a thing. You put your penis in here, and I can put my penis in there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's not very big.
It just fits. Just fits. It's very snug, but it fits. No, but he does testing things. Can't you still test positive after you've had it for a while?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But all I know is that what you had hospitals that were really filled up. And they wanted to get rid of these people as fast as possible because they needed the beds. They were running out of beds. And so the idea of getting them back to the nursing homes was the best idea. But he said, and he said this any number of times, we told these nursing homes that if you couldn't take these people, if you couldn't afford, if you didn't want to take these people, we'd find a place to shelter them. Even if it meant the state had to put them up in hotel rooms or whatever, we'd shelter them. And that all the nursing homes said, sure, we'll take them back. So that was one of the arguments. But why the argument against him is that he fudged the numbers, right? That he just wasn't giving the correct numbers.
I don't think he was correct. How many? Like he knew how many. It was more.
So does this mean that California is ahead of us now? Is behind us now again?
Yeah.
Does it mean that?
I think also would have been a big distraction because Trump would have jumped on that and Trump just would have ridden that and big distraction. Attack Cuomo while all this other stuff is going on to distract everybody.
Yeah, well, that's what they were also worried about.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
And Trump would never do that.
No, Trump would never do that. Let me see.
3 million people at his inauguration.
Do I have the numbers here? Let me just see here for a second. Here we go. Here are the latest numbers, and look, I can even do it now very nicely. This is these are the numbers right now. Worldwide, 110 million people have had COVID. 2,441,112 have died on the face of the earth. More parking spaces for the rest of us. Also, we have the U.S. is number one with 493,082 deaths. We're gonna hit half a million.
500,000 by Monday.
They say that by Monday.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
We are number one. Brazil is number two with 243,457 deaths. We've had 27,000 cases, almost 28,000 cases in the United States. And if you look here, folks, there it is. There's India with 10,950,000. It's terrible. The United States is in better shape now, but in deaths, California is at 48,283. New York is number two at 46,436. Now, I don't know if we're adding in the maybe 8,000 or so that weren't counted before. And then you get down to, Texas, Charlie.
Yeah.
41,630 deaths. So, you guys are slowly coming up on us. So that's pretty good.
People will die of the cold, and they're going to say it was COVID. So you're going to get it up pretty soon.
Get those numbers up.
What is this?
This is my test positive for COVID. So when I'm an old man, I can say I beat the disease. I never told my mom I tested positive because I don't want to worry her.
Did you get it? Did you come down with it?
I had it. I told you when I tested positive on the 31st of December.
Yeah, okay.
I had a slight, I had like a little cough, but nothing out of the ordinary. But
yeah. Did you go to that New Year's party after that?
No, I stayed home actually. I mean, to tell you the truth,
you probably got it from your mother.
I got it from my sister. I did, yeah. And I still can't get over that. We never told her.
Well, that's what you get from tongue kissing your sister.
She got over it. She felt bad, but it's like you said, Alex. It's just kind of
those
like
Italians. You can't tell.
Yeah. I mean, at least I know how to cook the meatballs. I know. I actually remember my recipes. So I'm kind of good about that.
Yeah.
You sure it wasn't your sister's tongue?
No.
Just kidding.
I know. But, I'm going to save this just in case when I drop, I could say I beat this. This is the memory of Trump.
The memory of Trump.
Yep.
Yeah.
Memory of
I
Trump.
would get it framed.
I should.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put it back.
Memories like the.
I don't know. My memory of Trump is an orange turd in a toilet bowl. I should take a picture of that and get it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Never mind.
You're the only one on this panel that voted for that turd, so remember that.
Thank you.
And you're the only person tonight who's mentioned him.
Isn't it nice that people remember me by what I voted for? Oh
I think the only time I mentioned him tonight was in reference to Cuomo, that he didn't want to do it because of the Trump administration. But I'd like to just forget the man ever existed. Okay,
Cuomo?
and get on. No,
Trump. Okay.
I mean, I think it's time for us to, kind of
move on,
get on with the things. Nice.
Well, after I voted for him and he turned into a real idiot, I was unhappy that I voted for him.
Why? Can I ask you though? Why did you vote for him in the first place?
Well,
because you seem far
too.
Okay,
so like Phil, I'm a pro Second Amendment person, and the Democrats are not pro Second Amendment or pro gun rights. And so I read Biden's 8-page, 16-page something thing that how he was going to change the gun rights in the country, and I didn't like that. And a few other little minor things about Biden, and I thought, well, we got this idiot in the country. He did some good by feeding some money to the pharmaceutical companies to get the vaccines out sooner. He did a few good things, so I don't know. Not that my vote really matters in California. If you vote Republican here, it doesn't make much. It's a throwaway vote. But I was just voting my conscience, and I felt that it was the right thing to do. But when he turned into the stolen election,
it seems to me though, you were like a one-issue voter. The guns meant so much to you that you weren't going to take a chance on the other guy, thinking your guns were going to be taken away from you, which clearly is not the case.
Clearly, Yeah, we don't know. Have you read HR 127 yet?
No.
But don't you hear that? Don't you hear that every election though? Don't you hear that? Hey, don't vote for Democrats because they're going to take your guns every year, every election. It's like that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, I mean, you've heard me talk for months now or whatever I've been here, and the only bad thing I did was vote for Trump.
No, I know, but as an active gun owner, I mean, it always boggles my mind when I hear these guys. Not just loyal gun owners, but other people. Oh, they're going to take your guns away. Oh,
I'm not worried about the government taking my guns, like a lot of the staunch Republicans or whatever. I'm worried about like one of the things in this HR 127 bill is that any parts that you want for the gun that you already own, you're going to have to get them through a gun dealer. You can't order them from Walmart or online. And I'm talking about a spring or some stupid little thing, not something, just something to keep it going. I mean, would you like if, to me, it's kind of like, the government saying, for now on out, I own a Ford. For now on out, you have to get your parts, any part, tune-up, repairs, from a Ford dealer only. And that's kind of the way I look at some of this stuff. I mean, a lot of this stuff we already have in California, the 10-round magazines, background checks. I think background checks are super important. And there are places, I'll pick on Texas for a minute. Texas has got very liberal gun laws. And in Texas, you could walk in, pluck down your money, walk out with a quote, assault rifle or a semi-automatic rifle or whatever you want to call the thing, ammo and everything. And, as long as it takes to do the paperwork, in California, there's a 10-day waiting period. You fill out the paperwork, you buy the gun, they feed it to the feds, and they give you a thumbs up or thumbs down, and you go pick up the gun 10 days later. And I think that ought to be that way across the nation.
Yeah.
So it's I think that, I'm certainly not as pro-gun as a lot of Republicans are. I mean, I'm pro-gun because I own guns, because I enjoy firing them. I like having the security of having one in California for protection of my personal self or my friends or something like that. But, and I've got training, obviously.
And I don't think Democrats are they're not against that stuff.
Okay.
They're against the people that, like the Texas example, walking in or getting it any way you can. It's like, that's unbelievable.
Well, in some states, gun shows, you can do the same thing, and the Democrats are trying to stop that, and I'm for stopping that. I think you ought to have a background check. The background check's not perfect. I mean, in some states like California, we've given nut jobs guns, after they did the background check. So.
Yeah. It's just, I wonder, I don't think I would ever vote for somebody on one issue alone, for or against somebody on one issue alone.
It's a strong feeling.
It's a strong feeling, but I think it's being exacerbated by pro-gun people who are scaring you into thinking that we're just going to yank those guns away from you.
I'm not worried about that.
And we're not going to. I realize that guns are so firmly entrenched in this country that I would love to just do away with all guns tomorrow. Goodbye. Take them away from me. Get them out of there. Get them out of people's hands.
So goodbye to the First Amendment too?
Wait a minute. Let me finish what I'm saying here. Okay. And I don't believe it's the First Amendment, is it? It's the Second Amendment.
Second Amendment. The First Amendment.
So far as your guys are concerned, there's no other amendment but that one. Yeah. But I'm reasonable enough to know that we're never going to do that. And I would like to hope that we could perhaps start a mentality in this country that would keep people from using guns and buying guns in such huge amounts, and make them kind of déclassé. Make it like, oh, you got a gun? Why? You're old-fashioned by owning a gun. I mean, we did that. We've done that with smoking. Okay, how many people smoke today? Don't smoke today because, quite frankly, they know it's bad for them. And secondly, if you smoke, people go, I mind if you smoke. Don't smoke in here, don't smoke there. So we've managed to curb a behavior by creating an atmosphere of negativity about the use of that particular substance. I think we could do the same thing with guns. I don't think we need to outlaw them. I think we could make them déclassé. We could make them owning a gun kind of, oh, you own a gun? That kind of thing. But we haven't gotten to that point. But I would rather see change in that area done that way than done by legally trying to stop them. I think there's still some question as to whether the Second Amendment does protect gun ownership. I maintain, along with a lot of other people, that it refers to a collective right in order to maintain a well-ordered militia, blah, 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 blah. It's a cumulative right. Yes, Charlie.
Yeah, one of the bad laws in Texas is they made it illegal to open carry in a bar. You're sitting there drinking, getting drunk off your ass, and you can have a gun on your hip.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I don't see the necessity for that.
Your ex-girlfriend at the other end of the bar.
Let me mention something, too, to Charlie, that when I lived in Texas and I was doing radio and I would occasionally have to do the news, they on Monday said, don't report the deaths in bars because of people shooting each other. That's not news in Houston. That's just
that's every day.
That's everyday behavior. Yes, John Larkin had his hand up. John?
Yeah, I was reading that there's a loophole in the Constitution where it makes it legal to murder somebody in a certain part of Yellowstone National Park. Because, yeah, it's true. Look it up on the internet.
Yeah.
The Sixth Amendment guarantees you the right to a jury trial by a local jury in your district or something like that. But when they drew the boundaries of Yellowstone National Park, it's all federal property. Part of it is on Idaho, part of it's on Wyoming, and part of it's on what's the other one? Montana. And there's a part in Idaho. If you shot somebody there, you couldn't get a jury trial. So technically, you couldn't be tried. So.
Yes.
But it's just theoretical. I'm sure they'd still try you.
Alan?
So it's illegal to murder anybody in this country. That's one. Going back to Charlie, the open carry thing. Excuse me. I think that most people, and especially me, do not think that a civilian needs to walk into a bar, a bank, something like that with an open carry. I think open carry is inviting trouble.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to give a concealed weapon permit, that's a different story. But here again, I don't think you need it in a bar. So, but Texas is much more liberal than a lot of the places in the country. New York, you'd never be able to carry open carry. I mean, you're lucky to be able to own a gun in New York City.
Yeah.
So.
I remember in Texas, at least back in the day, that you could carry a gun on your side as long as it was not hidden, as long as it was seen. It was on your hip. And there was another law that was really a stupid law, and that is you couldn't transport a gun from one place to another. You couldn't transport a gun in your car. Couldn't be in your car unless you were transporting it from one place to another. I swear. Am I right, Charlie?
Yep, that's true.
That was the law. Unless it was, you were transporting it from one place to another. Okay, so why do you have a gun in your car? Oh, I'm taking it home. Well, why do you have a gun in your car? I'm taking it to work. Why do you have a gun in your car? I'm taking it to the restaurant. Come on.
Were bullets like that too? Bullets? Yeah, well, you can kill somebody, but as long as you were transporting a bullet from one point to another.
Well, I often said I don't think we should make guns illegal. We should make the bullets illegal.
They're trying that too.
It's a lot harder to make a bullet, I think, than to make a gun. Am I right, Alan?
Oh, I don't know. A gun's made by machines and by hands. A bullet's made by machines. I don't know if one's harder than the other. When Obama was in office, he tried to get laser printed serial numbers on every bullet that was sold in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any idea how fun that would be? And that was supposed to slow down the murder rate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, because you could tell who did it.
I don't see how. First of all, most of the murders are done by gangs and drug dealers and stuff like that. They're not going to buy bullets during, go to the local sporting goods store or wherever and buy bullets. They're going to buy them illegally or anything. Yeah. So those burned on things are not going to happen. Mm-hmm. Bullets when they get into a body, a person, an animal or something, they fragment most of the time unless it's real high ammo, real, like law enforcement ammo or something. And so, yeah, you might have part of a serial number here and part of it you never can find. I don't understand how that would lower. That was, but the Republicans, I'm sorry, the Democrats have brought that back up again. They want to try and put serial numbers on bullets again so they can trace it back to whoever bought it. But that doesn't do any good either. Yeah. The person that bought it didn't commit the murder.
Hello, Ray Renati. Ray Renati looks, he's putting a background on himself there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
Yeah. I just bought myself a green screen, but I haven't used it yet. It's just sitting back here. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but I don't want to use it on the show because it's just too much.
Yeah.
There's Rocky.
Where's Rocky? Oh, there's Rocky. Hello, Rocky. Hi, Rocky.
He's in a bad mood.
He's in a bad mood?
Yeah, he's growling.
Oh, you mean he's growling what, at you?
Yeah, he's grumpy. He spent 3 weeks with me in the truck, and he says, as soon as he walks in the house, he looks at me, you again? Fuck off.
Oh, wow. Oh, really?
I think he overheard Alex is burning his penis thing, and the dog's worried about that.
He likes it better in the truck than at home?
He likes mommy butter.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
And she's at work.
Yeah.
Hey, is Jack okay? Is Jack underwater?
No, Jack's fine. Jack's been doing a show every night.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, he's nice.
And Charlie's okay?
And Charlie's okay, thank God. We were all worried about Charlie, but we had no way to get a hold of him. So,
Nope.
One of us got a hold of him.
We had a way to get a hold of him. But he couldn't get a hold of us.
And in this weather, you could get frostbite, and he can't afford to lose many more toes. So.
You should have never said it.
I can't feel hot and cold in my feet.
Oh,
so
really?
I could be out there in the snow and freezing my toes off and not even know it.
Yeah,
well,
you're lucky.
I wouldn't call that luck.
I've got neuropathy in my feet, but it makes them oversensitive as opposed to undersensitive.
That's the first symptom. Yeah,
that's the first symptom.
First symptom, right before your toes fall
Just
off.
Before your
that
toes
was me 10 years ago.
No, my doctor told me I don't have diabetes, so my doctor told me this isn't the kind of neuropathy in your feet that gonna make you lose your toes or anything like that. But it's just annoying, Hey, folks, I'm getting old. Anyway,
I shot a real commercial today. Finally, after so many.
Really?
For Chevy, yeah.
Really?
What'd you play?
Local?
Huh?
What did you play?
Chevy?
I was a baseball coach and a soccer coach, and I had to hit batting practice for like an hour, and I can barely walk. I swear to God, I can barely walk.
My wife local?
No, it's a national.
Oh, really?
How did you get that gig?
I put in for it on the casting thing here, and I just got I have a feeling someone did me a solid, as they say, and I don't even know who it is.
Wow.
Yeah, the only commercial I ever got was because I knew the person who was producing the commercial,
I think it was something like that, but I don't know who it was.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody
did a Taco Bell commercial. What do you call it? No, I didn't get the commercial, but I did the what do they call that? The audition? For it. Yeah, they wanted me to sing this stupid song, but you get a lot of money to get one of those things. I mean, aren't they? I mean, if it's a national.
Well, because I'm in the Screen Actors Guild. I have an agent and everything, and
yeah.
I know a lot of people around here. I guess
he's a real actor.
Yeah.
I was in I was in a film with in a scene in a movie with 2 Academy nominated actresses and me in the scene. You
Oh,
can
yeah,
see
what
it
was
on the
it?
internet. It was a movie called Technolust, and the actresses were Karen Black and Tilda Swinton.
Ah.
Oh,
It's a
wow.
horrible movie. Nobody's ever seen it, but check it. You can look it up on the internet, and I got an IDB thing for it.
IMDb.
IMDb.
Yeah.
Pretty good actresses. Yeah.
I know. Two Academy Award winners and me. I didn't have a line. It was like this future science fiction movie, and I was playing like a San Francisco cop entering.
Yeah, but this is a pretty good deal though for Ray because it pays pretty good. The commercial, a national commercial, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And
I only worked like 4 hours. So.
And you get paid every time it's played the first time out or something.
Yeah.
So you can make a nice bunch of bucks on that. You know,
you can. Depends how much they play it.
Yeah. Well, just tell us when to look for it or what the commercial is, and you know.
Okay.
We'll be. I'll go out and buy a Chevy just because you're in the commercial. How's that?
I think I wasn't supposed to tell you it was Chevy. Oh well. I remember now they're going to take it away. Take that guy off. I got an email saying don't tell anybody, don't post it, and now I just said, oh well.
Well,
you just told millions of people right now.
Yeah, all 45 people.
There's plus us, 45 plus 9.
42 people, plus the audio people. Let's see.
Oh, no.
How many people do we have on the audio?
Oh, God. What did I keep my mouth shut?
3,000 people on the audio.
Oh, crap.
No, it's only 11.
Oh, okay, good.
So a total of 50 people know. Everybody is listening right now. Don't tell anybody. Okay? Now, I don't think we've hurt your
No. It's so funny though. They get so secretive about
money early. Why would they be so secretive about that?
I want people to buy the cars.
No, I think because they don't want like Ford to know or
Ford to know they hired Ray Renati.
No, not me. That they're actually doing the commercial.
Hey, listen, we don't want Ford to find out we hired Ray Renati because then they'll want to put Ray Renati in their ad.
Yeah, like such a known entity that
Yeah. Forget about
the fact is that I'm unknown.
Forget about getting Samuel L. Jackson. We've got Ray Renati.
Yeah, right. It's going to be like me hitting a couple balls and then Morgan Freeman over the top with the thing riding through the hills.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
I swear to God, car commercials are the easiest things to make on earth. But the crew, I mean, they have like trucks and trucks of cameras and everything,
you can actually shoot that commercial with a GoPro, but no, they've got to have the food truck and the catering and the 20,000 people doing this and the 20,000 people doing that.
There had to be 150 people there.
There were probably more people there doing that commercial than do the average film television show.
Oh yeah.
They have a budget, right? They have a budget, so they're going to use it.
Well, I'll tell you, the outhouses had hardwood floors.
Oh.
Not kidding. And flowers.
Wow. Set up like a funeral parlor.
I didn't even want to leave the place. I was just like, I'm staying in here, man.
This is too nice. Well, anyway, so at least you got some work. That's good,
I know. I was just, I had just written to my agent, too. I was like, what the hell? What's going on?
That and 10 more commercials and you get SAG-AFTRA health.
Oh, really?
Well, I was getting my equity health, which is just like that for years, and now I'm not getting that. And man, you get spoiled when you get that.
Well, I got spoiled but they did away with ours over at SAG-AFTRA. So,
oh, really?
Our senior benefits, yeah. Where we were paying total of about $4,000 a year, and we just got all heck of kind of insurance. Great
that's
insurance.
Right.
Great insurance. And they just one day said, we're not going to do it anymore.
Oh, yeah, that was a big scandal a few months ago.
Well, today Marjorie got a call from the union saying, we want to know how you're doing. And she said, well, not well. We're having to pay more money for our insurance and blah, blah, blah. And you people did a terrible thing to us. And the woman on the other end of the line, who I'm sure is not a union representative, said, yeah, we're being sued a lot over this. Yeah, there are a lot of
SAG
suits
after
out
has a
there.
lot of money too. That's just
There's a lot of suits out there. Well, after SAG, for years was known as having the best medical plan of any union in the country. And then when AFTRA joined them, we got the benefit of that.
Yeah.
And it was terrific. It was just wonderful. I mean, imagine we paid like $4,000 a year, which your company paid for. And both of us were fully insured, and we had the prescription plan was incredible and all of that. And all of a sudden, one day, they just come and yank it out from underneath us 3 months before they're going to stop it. So we only have 3 months to go out and get other arrangements for our stuff. Wasn't good.
What good's the union anymore?
What?
What good's the union anymore?
Yeah, what good is the union when your worst enemy is now a union?
Yeah.
So anyway, I have to announce that tonight I did something for tonight's show. Is I took my other camera, a Brio camera that I had over here for the other machine, and put it over here so that I'm running that on the Zoom, and the other one is running on my OBS. And tonight it looks pretty good. It looks like we're not really.
You're closer than you normally are.
No, I mean that I've changed a bit, but that has nothing to do with the Brio.
No delay.
What? Yeah.
And no delay.
And no delay.
No delay.
No delay. So so now I'm going to have to go out and spend $200 and buy another one of these cameras. So I have one for both machines and two for this one, but it looks pretty good. It's working okay. No, I changed how close my face is because I decided all your faces were about like this, and I was sitting there with way back here, and it just looks better. I think all the way around.
I think so too. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Plus, we're sending this thing out at 2K, not at 4K, but at 2K, and the picture just looks extraordinary, extraordinary. So
yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, it's really
I look better. I'm okay with that.
Oh yeah, and you can see the bags under my eyes better than you used to be able to see them.
Oh, okay, there you go. Wear glasses.
And I know, so you could see if you look closely, my eyelashes. Well, I cut them today, but they were going all cattywampus and everything. My eyebrows, but now that's okay.
Oh, thank God for that.
And Rocky looks better than he's ever looked. Steve.
He's not even wearing a hat. Oh, wait a minute. That's Trucker Steve.
No, that's not Rocky. That's Trucker Steve over there.
Right.
Please.
Sidekick.
Yeah.
He's going for a haircut this weekend.
He's going for a haircut?
Yeah, he's a month and a half behind, too, because of the lockdown. I couldn't take him.
Wait a minute. Don't dogs just shed and you don't have to cut their hair?
Oh, he's hypoallergenic, so he doesn't shed.
Really?
Yeah, my dog
So
too. I have to get a haircut.
Go to a groomer.
You have to get them haircuts?
Yep.
Really?
Otherwise, they'll big giant balls of like Cousin It.
I wonder what kind of magazines they have in the waiting room there for dogs. While you're waiting.
Play dog.
Oh, that's good.
I usually come back home because they'll have them for like 3 hours.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It takes about 2.5, 3 hours to trim them.
Yeah, well, I bet they don't have a COVID problem over there because all dogs don't give COVID to people, or do they?
Mom used to get
the pet store was closed for the lockdown too. Couldn't take him. I haven't been to. He hasn't had a trim since early December.
Well, I haven't gotten trimmed since early December
November.
either. Oh, that's something else altogether. Hey, listen, there's a theme. Charlie Wallace, so good to see that you're okay, and that you got the electricity back on. At least I assume those aren't candles. Trucker Steve, glad to see you're off the road and safe at home with the dog. Alan, good seeing you tonight. Good seeing you, Jeff. Oh, look who's here. Hello, Adrian. How are you? How are you?
He's not shy anymore.
So cute.
Hi.
And she's adorable. She's
my
so
God.
adorable. Oh, there we go. She's doing the shy thing.
Shouldn't have said that.
Oh man, he's gonna be in trouble.
Tony, you could do the same thing. You could do
There you go.
John Larkin, thank you so much. Great to see you again. And Ray, we're glad to hear you got some meaningful work. Tell us what Tell us what it's like to work soon, and we can all find out because we forgot. Anyway,
Jeff has been quiet. Half hour. I don't think he realizes he's got his mic off.
Yeah. Anyway, hey Adrian, yeah, good night. Everybody wave goodbye, okay? And I'll wave goodbye at you, okay? There they go. That's our group of people for tonight in the Citizen Panel. That's it. We'll be back again here tomorrow night. Next is Jack Bishop, and he's here with The Intersection. He'll be taking your calls on Skype, and Gabnet Live is his address to call on. I'll be back in tomorrow night. Let's see here, 10:30, same time, same station in life. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her. And by the way, be safe out there. Wear a mask and get vaccinated. Bye-bye, everybody. Good night.